The Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari-Nikwe, has clarified that the renaming of Kotoka International Airport will not require parliamentary legislation, explaining that the facility was originally named by a decree in 1969. Responding to calls for a bill to provide legal backing for the decision, the minister stressed that such demands are misplaced. He noted that over the years, airports in Ghana have been renamed through executive instruments, citing similar actions involving the airports in Kumasi and Tamale. Now, briefing the press in Parliament after issuing a statement on the official renaming of Kotoka International Airport, Mr. Nikwe maintained that calls for legislation are unfounded.
You remember that it came as a result of the NLCD 309. It was a decree that was brought to set a trust to cater for the families of Kotoka and other soldiers who were killed along that time. And it happened that he was killed at the forecourt of the airport. And so if you look at the decree, its intention was to set a trust to take care of the families of the soldiers who were killed. And so if you look within it, they decided to honor him by introducing or renaming the airport after him. But the purpose of the decree was to establish a trust. Now, there was no any legislature in Parliament to operationalize it. And so there is no anything in it for Parliament to amend or Parliament to legislate. It was an executive order that was given to recognize somebody who was killed at the forecourt of the airport. And the rightful thing is for us to come to an executive announcement again that the name is reverted to its original name.
He added that the renaming has already taken effect and that the new name will soon be reflected on official documents and on signage at the airport.
Over the days, you will see that Kotoka is undergoing some kind of rehabilitation and some kind of upgrade. We are looking at turning or making Terminal 2 play a dual purpose, international and domestic. And so if you go to the Terminal 2 today, you will see work ongoing seriously. And you are aware that plans are far advanced to construct a connecting concourse between Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. All this would have brought some kind of renewal to the airport that will go along with these signages, these names, and all these things. And so we are looking at following all the systematic arrangements that are proper. The good thing is that we want to respect the Ghanaian people by allowing them to know first that the name is going to be changed, and then subsequently we will take the procedure of doing the change of the name completely, the signages, the directions, and all those things.
I'll take you to Parliament, where my colleague Fatau Mayaga is joining us live for more on this. Fatau, so did the minister indicate whether this decision will impose any new financial burden on the state?
Emafa, the minister says that he was quite certain that this will not attract any financial burden to the state. In fact, he says that if you look at the international space, all the documents there will not need any change at this moment. So it means that the government or the nation would not need to make any payments at the international level to change the name of the airport. And if you look at domestically, he says that the airport is already going through an upgrade. So that would automatically be included and as part of that. So he says that as they are constructing the airport, they will add the new name to all the documents or the structures that would be put up. So the minister is quite certain that this will not attract any financial burden to the state. We can take a listen to him.
At the international level, the only thing to change is the signages and the billboards that we have. But Kotoka, as a company, they already have the vendors who produce their letterheads on daily basis for them. So it's not a new contract. It's just a matter of Kotoka is now out. The same vendors who were doing their letterheads, their stamps, are the same companies to continue to now change. Just removal of Kotoka and it will be Accra. So what will be the cost there? We are already renovating the airport. We are already doing construction of the airport to make it function properly. And some of those things would have been destroyed and rebranded. It's just a matter of the Kotoka out and the Accra in. So what will be the cost? Even though there will be some cost to it, but it is not that cost that somebody will care about. It is going to be a minimum because of the renovation. The costs involved will be very, 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 very small as compared to other airports that you have to deal international, regional, and national.
So, Fatal, we of course hear the minister say that a legislation is not necessary, at least not now. But did he suggest whether or not the government might consider a legal framework in the future to ensure continuity?
He says that it's a matter of stakeholder conversation to see if there's the need to legislate the renaming of airports. In fact, he says that this should be a holistic approach. That's if the government even intends to do that. It has to be done holistically, and this would have to rope in the Tamale Airport, the Prempeh, the first international airport in Kumasi. So all of these airports will be part of this legislation in order to ensure that it's done properly. So that's what the minister has been saying. We can listen to him as well.
As to have a legislation on naming of airports to be a holistic one, not only the Accra Airport, Accra International Airport alone. And so if the idea to government is that at this point we should look at how all our airports will be named, then that is not something that government can say no, or maybe we will not consider. It is worth considering, but at this point we are not legislating to name airports. We have issued, like it was, a decree, and a part of the decree was to honor Kotoka, which they did to honor. But the main purpose of that decree, 339, was to set up a trust to take care of the families, to get accommodation, get education, get other facilities to support the families of those who were killed.